two things I want to make a mental note of today. There was a customer today in the store who was wearing a t-shirt. She was shopping with her mom, and she was wearing a t-shirt and it said, "Never stop believing." I thought that was nice. That's just really nice. It's one of those things we must remember, never to stop believing, especially if it appears, well, what's the point? Is there even a reason for me to go forward? What's the point? It's not going to work, that sort of thing. When we have thoughts like that, a t-shirt like that appearing in front of your very eyes, that is just wonderful. I think that is just the universe at work. Never stop believing. Yes, I really like that. And the second thing is a bit weird. I just wanted to make a mental note of that because I've been reading on and off. I've been reading a book called Apprentice to the Masters, and that is by a man named Peter Mount Shasta. And he's studying the I am philosophy. Don't know if you're familiar with that. It's kind of a 150-year-old approach to how people talk to God and what the ascended masters are, and how we get in touch with people who once lived on this planet and who now are up in Mount Shasta, in fact, in California, and who are watching over mankind. And when we get calls that try to give us a message, sometimes it's these people that speak to us there. At least that is what the people who believe in this type of religion, it's not even a religion really, but it's kind of, this is a belief system, to make it short. And I'm reading his book because when I was ill, when I got better, he was one of the authors that was suggested next to me. And for some reason I was kind of drawn to him and checked out his website, which is the iamteachings.com, or petermountshasta.com also directs there, and has some YouTube videos of his, and it's an inspirational man. And he's been looking for answers for most of his life, for all his life, and went to India, tried to find gurus, and it just pulled him there. He was trying to find out that there's more between heaven and earth than meets the eye, and he believed in it. He kind of knew it, but he wanted answers, he wanted proof and all that. And so his second part of his autobiography deals with when he came back from India and he had this pull to go to Mount Shasta. He had visions of one of these ascended masters visiting him. And this is kind of his journey. This is how he describes what happened with him and to him. And so I read a couple of his books. This is the second one, Apprentice to the Masters Part 2. That is the part that I'm currently reading, on and off literally. And it's very inspirational. It is, you believe it or not, it doesn't really matter. It's a very inspirational story of somebody who literally just gives himself over to the universe, as I like to call it, and says, hey, I hear a calling, I'm going to follow it. I'm not going to dictate to whatever is in charge there, whatever force it is, whatever I'm feeling. I'm not going to say, nah, sorry, I'm going to have to drive a cab instead, or do a job and not do what my heart clearly tells me I must do. And he basically completely gives into that and is open to suggestions and is open to the way. And it's a phenomenal journey that he's talking about there. And so that's a book I'm reading on and off. And today, one of the customer labels I had to print out for an order that I shopped, I don't even remember what was in it, but we only see the first 4 letters of the last name of the customer. And that's all until the label is printed, and then we have to put it on the bags, and the bags are staged. Driver comes and picks them up and delivers them there. And so I just saw Shast, And I thought, haha, that's actually very funny, because it's the first 4 letters of his last name, of his assumed last name, Peter Mount Shasta. And so it just said Shast. And I thought, that's, very funny. But I didn't think much of it until I then put the labels on the bags and put the bags onto the shelves. And the man's first name was Peter. So that was weird that I saw that. And I'm kind of just more awakened now to listening to things like that, as in these are messages, these are indications and messages. And it's bizarre, because one of the things I was jokingly thinking about was to contact him and interview him and just let him know that he has had an influence on my life. And in whichever shape or form that is, I can't say I know much about the I Am teachings. I can't say I follow it. I don't really know much about it. But it is just something that I'm somehow drawn to, and I don't really know why. And I just wanted to make a mental note of that. This is always something that I've been thinking about ever since I've written my book, I've published it, I've narrated it. And I keep thinking things like, hey, maybe I should offer to narrate his book for him. He's narrated a couple of his as meditation practices, and I'm thinking, yeah, maybe I should do that. Maybe I should go and offer that to him. And somehow it just, this idea of getting in touch with this man that I know nothing about, basically, keeps coming up for me. And so today was kind of one of those days where I was thinking, this is how much clearer a sign do I really need for me to pick up the phone or see if he's contactable by email or whatnot. So it's an interesting thing that happened to me, and I find it slightly confusing, and I tend to belittle it a little bit, put it down to a coincidence and all that. But I wouldn't be at all surprised if and when we perhaps do meet, Peter and I, that he'll say something like, what took you so long? Why have you waited so long? I've been waiting for you for the last year or so. Was that message not strong enough? How much clearer did it have to be? And this is something, I just, when I feel something like that, and especially with this half notion of, well, it was a coincidence, don't worry about it, that is when I'm getting this, when I want to hone my ears and say, maybe there is something to it, maybe there isn't. That'll also be fine. But if there is, and I've missed this clear message, that's on me, essentially. So there we go. That's what happened today.